We live? Yeah, it seems like we're live. Hey guys, welcome. So let's skip the intro for once and for all. Let's get started. So starting right one at 6:01 my time. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic, phenomenal day. Everything is back at green on the coins. Let's get it. Let's start practicing everything that we have learned till this point, and then we'll continue. Remember, we're making a couple of pauses just to put in practice what we have learned. Remember that yesterday we learned about some other candlestick patterns that we usually are going to be giving a glance to before we have a breakout, a top trend or a downtrend or at the bottom of the trend, looking for that possible reversals. Let me get started with you guys because you guys are amazing, and not only that, you guys are the most important part of the Hyper Academy. And we have Alexander G, the one and only Alexander G in the house. Welcome. Also, we have username. What's up, brother? He says, I won my OC Superman hoodie. I don't know what you have pictured, man. Maybe we can do something. I don't know, even like a little bit of a for fun stuff. I don't know. Let me know. Oh man, I'm just getting stuff in here in the chat. We also have Army Piper. What is up, brother? Welcome. I heard Piper doesn't respond to demands. Something about not negotiations with terrorists or something. Hopefully, man. Absolutely. All right, so let's get it. Today I want to go over a lot of assets, guys, so bring it on. I want to visit as many as we can. We're gonna go one by one over one after another one. Atlas Prime, what is up, brother? Welcome. So shout out to you, my friend. You already have the power in your charts. Welcome, and thank you so much for considering taking a look at Chart Prime. So guys, this is the time. Let's get it. Let me know if you guys have any questions or any assets that you're looking at and what time frames you are doing. All right, so today it's all about live trading. So let's take a look at a couple of setups that we can start doing. All right, let's go to the charts. Hey, we have Trading Tuition in the house. Welcome. We also have Weak Wife and the one and only Alex O Crypto. What is up, my friend? Let me drop those orders right there. There we go. Perfect. All right, there we go. Much better. Thank you so much for stopping by, my friend. And let's see, what do we have? Give it up for OC guy. What is it? Hi everyone, everybody, give it up for OC. Thank you. Love it. All right, let's get it. Let's go to the charts. All right, so this is the first thing that I'm looking at. This is where we left out yesterday. This is just me. I was looking for a bounce out of this zone. Remember that we're looking for flip of the ribbon. We're going to be also visiting this one, but let's give it 1 second, all right? At this point, while we have flip of the ribbon, we're at basically breaking through. We already have a bearish divergence. All right, we have a bearish divergence in here. And what else? We have a retracement. Let's get started with removing everything, all right? And let's start from the beginning. So first of all, we're gonna be using our eyeball. All right, so what are we doing? What are we seeing? Let's just start dropping here some trend lines. All right, what else? Hey family, welcome. Alex, nice. Alex O in the house. All right, so what other thing we can do? Maybe we can do this other line here. It doesn't matter. We're gonna start analyzing everything, and when we have this disparity, we're gonna start using our indicators to start seeing where is it the best area to drop our trend line. All right, but so far, let's just use our eyeballs and start dropping in here a couple of stuff. Hey, Crypto Chef in the house. Welcome, my friend. Nice to have you, brother. Welcome. All right, the next thing that I'm going to be doing here is, of course, at the bottom, let me see. Oh, wrong tool. And I'm going to be going like this. All right, so trying to accommodate as many hits as I can, even if it's just going through for a little bit in here. Perfect. So we have something between a megaphone and a range, all right, and a slightly tilted upwards range. Both of those are megaphones, all right, technically. Why? Because this is not exactly parallel to this other one, all right, so whatever. The next thing, or the previous thing that we were looking at, it was the stop. Let's try to hit this stop and then the next one here. All right, so another thing that I'm going to be doing, it is considering this other pivot that we just have. All right, so far we could be looking at a possible triangle. All right, where's going to be that triangle? It could be somewhere around here. How can I start guessing that triangle? Let's not guess stuff, all right? But there's a method that we're going to be following. Remember, we already have learned that, but let's go by basic, all right? Step by step. Hey, Jay Violet, welcome. Welcome. All right, so at this point, we'll see, well, are we bullish or bearish? Well, I am, let's just take a look at my configuration. It's 43, just so you know, all right? I have green candles, all right, bullish, sorry. My prime score is very high, so I'm bullish, all right? I'm above the zero line, I'm bullish, and also I'm above dynamic reactor, so I'm bullish, all right? There's no question about this. So I'm going to be preferring longs over shorts, all right? Another thing that we need to understand, it is not because we're bullish, because right here we were also very bullish. It doesn't mean that we cannot retrace, all right? So what do we do when we have inner structure and we're looking for losing that area? Again, I already give you the hint, the inner structure trend lines, all right? So let's get it. We have a trend line like here. I would say that this is good enough. Why? Because it's not really that, well, there we go. I think that's much better, right? Here it goes. You have a fake out. Still, we're gonna be looking for breakout retest. Maybe off we go, but that's gonna be till where we left it now. All right, we're going downwards on our oscillator, and now let's start bringing up, for example, our RSI prime. We already have reversals, right? Let's not. Let's, for example, go here, and let me show you what happened right here. We had a top, and then a retracement, right? A possible retracement, and then a further move to the upside. This can still happen. So let's just take this as a possibility, all right? So far we have a reversal, we have a flip of the ribbon, we have a bearish divergence. What else do we have? Well, this one, let me turn it on. We are bullish going downwards in momentum, all right? How is our strength? Our strength, it's below the point of control, the POC right here, right? It's below the POC, but still flat-ish. So we don't have that much strength so far, all right? Let me just remove that, get that out of the way. So which means that we should be ranging downwards slightly, all right? So what are we doing? Overall, we are kind of like ranging since we start in here, or since we lost the zero line or the pivot point right here, right? So we are still within this range, at the top of the range. The most basic setup will be looking or expecting a drop back down to the dynamic reactor. All right, perfect. Till there, that's completely perfect. All right, we have not much to talk about there. All right. Hey, Colfan, what is up? Welcome. By the way, remember we're going to be talking about setups. So if you want to take a look at any setup, at me, so at OC Guy, and also let me know, or better yet, you know what, I'm at Piper Academy. So just at Piper Academy and let me know your asset, so I have a bright spot on the screen right there, so I don't lose it. All right, so let me know there. Let's see. 1 second. It seems like I am getting bombarded with stuff in here. All right, perfect. I think that's it. All right, now let's move on to the rest of our stuff. All right, so where's my SMA combo? Almost at the same place where my dynamic reactor is at. All right, so let's just leave our dynamic reactor because it also gives us the dashboard and the volatility factor. All right, so far so good. We're bullish, but we're still looking for a possible bounce. All right, because we're favoring longs. So let's go and take a look at our market oracle. So we have any candle structure? Not really, not just yet, all right? So I'm using this as a cheat code, right? As you can see, there we go, nothing really happening up here. So it is not looking that toppy, all right? What do we have in here? We have a resistance and a bullish, all right, area of rejection. Piper Academy discount get, oh, absolutely, we have a discount there. Let's see, do we have any other? Hey Harp, welcome my friend, nice to have you breaking Piper to make a OC Superman with first 30 hands. Sign up by OC himself. Man, I'll be up for it, dude. I'll be up for it. That'll be fantastic. I mean, I cannot make any promises in there, but if it goes, it goes, and I'll be more than happy to do that. I even throw $20 per hoodie on crypto there, on any altcoin. I think that'll be cool. Caliphant, you here from some learning. You're here from here for some learning. Absolutely. Let me know if you have any, if you're looking at anything that you want me to help you out in there. Caliphant K DGT, welcome my friend. Nice to have you here. Harp, welcome brother. Nice to have you around. All right. What else do we have in here? So we have a resistance. We're bouncing off the resistance. All right, what's going to be our next support area? Look at right here that Chart Prime already have figured out a much better trend line in here. All right, so let's look at that trend line for now. So we have a support zone and a trend line. So far, this is going to be the plan. Looking for flip of the ribbon at first support. All right, since we are catching the trend, so we are moving up with the trend and we are making triple tops. All right, we're gonna go with 1/4 of an entry. This is a very dangerous zone, right? Why? Because we have dynamic reactor and that's gonna be it, right? So let's go for long position. My stop loss is gonna be right below my trend line. All right, and I'm gonna be aiming to previous highs for TP number 1. That's it. Why is this it? Because guys, at this point, I'm going to be doing 4 different entries using one single position. All right. And those entries are going to be divided in different zones or different coins. All right. Especially altcoins. Why? Because look at that triple top. If we lose dynamic reactor, well, then that's going to be a major drop, right? So I don't want to waste my money on a possible long. If we get this long entry, all right, I'm going to go for breakout, retest, re-add, average up with half of a position, right? Quarter plus quarter, and then let it ride until the next upcoming highs or the next upcoming important zones, somewhere around here, all right? But so far, we need to be cautious. Right, optimistically cautious, especially because we are triple topping. All right, we are at the top of the wedge. Right, we already have a bearish divergence, a hidden bearish divergence, and we're not there with the flip of the ribbon. All right, so let's leave it as is for now, and let's follow up throughout the day and throughout tomorrow night. All right, so just be careful out there. This is gonna be the first one that I'm gonna be looking at. Let's go for another ones. For example, Ethereum, man, it's just been flying. All right, so it's been doing great. I mean, this is the 1 hour. Let's go to the 15 minutes. I think we can do something in the 15 minutes. All right, I believe that we're gonna be reversing. All right, or at least making a little bit of a range. We already have a there we go, a pennant. But this pennant, all right, it's losing its zero line right here on the 15 minutes. All right. So right here, I'm seeing dynamic reactor coming in strong, but also look at where is my next support, right? So it's very back low there. So I have a loud order block. I mean, this is almost 50-50, so most likely it's gonna cancel out, right? Not without fighting, which means doing something like that. We need to be careful because if they cancel out and maybe the last order was bearish, right? Most likely we're going to go to the next loud order block. So I'm going to be adding an alert in here and I'm going to be looking for a possible long entry right here, stop loss in here, give my wiggle room, and that's going to be it. This is going to be 1/4 on the 15 minutes. All right, perfect. Let's see what else we got here for you guys. 1 second. I don't know why this is going wild. All right, perfect. So what else do we have in here? We have Caliphant saying, can you look at Arweave? Absolutely. Today you think it will have a pullback? I think most of the things might have a pullback. So let's go and take a look at Arweave. All right. Where is it? There you go. I think I got it. Which broker are you using, my friend? OKX or KuCoin or any other one? Let me know. That's going to be fairly important. All right, just give it a second there. Caliphant, let me know. Let's go for KuCoin in the meantime, but please let me know which broker you're using, so we can do it on the same broker. All right. Perfect. So the movement is already half played out. This is the 15 minutes. I do see loud order blocks. Usually, oh, look at that. 100% bearish. So guys, I think this is gonna be very, very interesting. All right. Let's see. Do we have any support or resistances at that zone? We have a what? Let's go over it. Here is bullish hammer, dual bullish, bearish hammer. What is it? No, bullish hammer. Let me see. I'm zooming. Sorry, I might be getting sick. All right, we have a bullish hammer here. Perfect. We have another bullish hammer here, or bearish hammer. Is it a bearish hammer? Bullish hammer still. All right, what do we have here? Bullish hammer. So we have a lot of bullish hammers. Let's start doing the same thing that we do. So first of all, let's drop our trend line. So do we have a parabola or a trend line? I think we have a parabola. We can still do it, manage it with a trend line in here. A Mexi. All right, let's do it on Mexi. Hey, JR, welcome, my friend. Welcome. Nice to have you around, buddy. Let's see if we have something different on Mexi. That is, are we, and that should be Mexi. Perfect. All right, so let's just do it on Mexi. Let me remove the other one. All right, it's basically the same. So let's just get it here. I'm gonna be dropping a trend line like this. All right, another trend line that I could be looking for, it's gonna be this other one, and I'm going like very specific with chunky candles, right? Because you want me to analyze for a possible drop back down today. It seems like we could. I don't know if today, but look at the compression of those clouds. Oh man, this is getting interesting. How far high could we get? Look at our areas of rejection. This is a very nice opportunity to start looking at our VPVR, right? Why? Because I want to know the volume that acted in here. Was it smart money? Did I have any areas of how is it called this? Oh man, what is the name of this? It is a where is it, man? Oh, my bad. It's not there. Should be here. Liquidity zones. All right, so those are the ones I'm going to be looking for. So, oh, let's see. You see that right now I have an error. Don't worry. Just click here, change something, change it back, click OK, wait for that little eye to stop moving, and that will react or recalculate your indicators. Right, perfect. So there we go. I have a resistance right here, and look at that. I have another resistance in here. So I'm going to be planning up for a possible, look at that, sweep of the highs, all right, and then roll back over. Absolutely, I do think that we're going to have a pullback. I don't know if it's going to be today, maybe in the night might be happening this pullback, but still, I believe that we need to take over, at least get here just to trap people and then have a blow off top like it did in here, right? So let me see what else we have in here. Let me mark first our possible areas, all right? So first area is going to be here at the center dashed line, just because it's the center of that area. All right, the next one is going to be up there. Just for now, let's see what else we got. Oh, this one, I need to zoom out a little bit. All right, so those are predictive ranges. In this predictive range, I think they're too big for my taste. Let's go first for support and resistances. We just have supports. All right, we don't have any resistance there. Let's go for the next one. All right, those are the predictive ranges. Predictive ranges are aiming higher here, right? Nothing that really is gonna, there we go. This is a little bit more in line. All right, so look at that. We have a resistance here and another resistance here. They're a little bit offset, all right? So what could happen? Well, then I would say that we can have some weakening action like we did back in here, right? Let me just get rid of that spaghetti. And I'm going to be doing exactly the same that we see here. So where's my support, my resistance right here? All right, so I'm going to be fixing this to a little bit higher. There we go. Just below the line, right? And this one, I think this is pretty good. Where is it right now? As soon as I get my first ring of this trend line, I'm going to be looking for a flip of the ribbon. At the top with maybe a reversal, all right? Something like that. If not, don't worry. Most likely we're going to be losing the trend line. And as soon as we lose the trend line, it's not about your breakout. Look at where is the support. It's about your retest. And then off we go, creating a higher low, lower high. All right. So that is your setup for our week. So in fact, we're going to be looking at another area right here. So I'm going to be adding another alert right here. All right. This alert, it is at 8:58. Why? I'm not going to be entering on that zone. I just want to be alerted when the price action goes low and breaks the trend line. All right. When it breaks the trend line, it's going to be going AOC. Look at what's going on in your charts. All right. I'm going to be seeing this. I'm going to be analyzing what's going on. And maybe I either jump in with a trade or wait for a little bit of a retracement. I don't think that we're going to have that big of a retracement. Right. So I'm going to call it up like that. Let me see if I have anything else. Oh, look at that. So maybe we can go slightly lower. Much better. It's not about the breakout. It's about your retest and then off we go. All right. So that's going to be the setup for our weave. So just so we remember, all right, because we talked about many things. So case number one, we break to the upside. I'm not looking for longs right now, all right? And then whenever I start breaking this trend line, I'm going to be looking for a setup for a reversal, all right? Candle close, all right? Maybe top right here, topping up, all right? And I'm going to be doing 1/4 of an entry somewhere around here, all right? And then I want to cover my ass, of course, right? And then in this case, I'm gonna be going for a smaller stop loss. I rather get it stopped out here and then re-add it somewhere around there. Why? Because this is a 1/4 of a position. All right, I'm gonna try it twice. Therefore, I'm gonna be cloning this, right, and trying it 2 times. All right, or if I break to the downside, I'm going to be waiting for a breakout, maybe retest, and then off we go for a forward move to the downside, all right? JRC told MM in a dark alley to do a retest for us, so we have a better entry. Thank you, OC. What is it, my friend? I'm not following. Jets, Hulky. Not following, my friend. Can you maybe explain me a little bit more? That was yesterday's on Mother's Milk, or today in the morning. We talked about Mother's Milk, but I'm not sure if that is what you were talking about. I'm a hot top tech. I love it. All right. Nice. All right, let's take a look at, am I missing Sui? All right, trend line on Sui. I mean it OC. I just drew a trend line on Sui. I named it OC. I love it, my friend. That's amazing. All right, let's take a look at market maker. Did I invent it? No, I did not. I did not invent a retest. But I just do it so many times. I just drilled your brains with that's why, you know, like the team call us the OC retest, because I just bang on that over and over and over, right? I mean, it just works for me so much that it's basically, you know, like something that I just keep pushing on it. So let's take a look at Sui. Why not? Who did it? Let's see. Key Digity. All right, let's take a look at Sui. And let's do crypto. What broker are you on, my friend? Let me know. Oh, all right. In the meantime, I'm going to be looking at something else in here. And let me know, what is your broker? Bit Unix. All right, perfect. Let's do that. Bit Unix. I haven't heard that, man. Bitstamp, Bitfinex, Binance. Oh man. All right, maybe all exchanges. What can I? Oh, Sui. Let's see. Maybe I can just get rid of that. Kraken, Mixi, Bybit, KuCoin, Mixi, Bitstamp, Bitfinex, Bit Unix, man. I don't know. Haven't heard of it. Binance. Should, I guess. I mean, all right, let's do Binance then. Yeah. All right, perfect. Let's take a look at Binance in here. We have a trend line. Oh man, love it. I see the trend line you're drawing. Love it, bro. All right, so this is the trend line. That is amazing trend line. We are breaking through. All right, we have where is it? 1 second. There it is. We have a breakout so far. So why can I draw here? All right, perfect. No, I can't. Oh yeah, I can. All right, breakout, retest, breakout, retest, 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 and then we are getting some air here. Big seeker, bearish divergence, losing the 0 line. All right, first possible entry, my friend. And here's the thing. Right here, I would say quarter plus quarter. All right, we have a double top. And most likely, definitely, we're going to hit dynamic reactor. All right. Most likely, and that is because it's a soft order block. All right. We could be having a little bounce and then going lower. All right. But if we hover over here, so there is a chance that instead of having a bounce worth of your time, we do something. Let me see if I can see it. Something like this. All right. So we hover over here and then we flop all the way down here to 396. All right. In that case, I think that will be not a setup for a long, because for a short, because we're not yet breaking through. All right. So I rather wait for this long position. All right. And let's call this, let's just add to my previous low. I'm not going to be adding wiggle room and then letting it maybe stop me out. This is going to be a 1 quarter. All right. And then I'm going to be going for long position somewhere. Maybe right here, the center of this one. Why? Because they're 50-50, right? So in this one, I am going to be adding my wiggle room. And that's because right here, I have a big support, right? So let's just not wick into it. And I'm going to be TP number 1 dynamic reactor at 1.1. And then TP number 2 at trend line. I think we could have a fake out for then maybe a dead cat bounce and then further continuation. All right. So far, the short already have played out. I mean, this was your entry somewhere around here with a pump and dump, even right there. But it's just too late for the 15 minutes. So let's just wait for this one to be hit. Be careful. I want to see the flip of the ribbon, or at least I want to see this horizontal to be fairly between the zero line and your negative 98, all right, or 95, somewhere around here, all right. You can start looking like something like that, all right, looking for that flip of the ribbon. If that flip of the ribbon doesn't happen, wait it. Do not take this entry, all right. Do not take this entry if we don't have flip of the ribbon. If for the contrary it's taking too long and then you see a bounce, wait for that bounce, all right. And then once we are back above here, well, then you enter. That is if you miss this entry, all right? If it's just too slow. But so far, that's going to be it. Let me add my alert. Remember, a little bit above of my entry points. And that will be it. I'm going to be adding another one right here. Just if for some strange reason, we just bounce up, all right? But so far, we're losing 0 lines. So I don't think that we're going to be bouncing up. Consolidation score is high. 9. Remember what goes before 9 or 10? Back at 1 or 0. And what does a 0 means? Means that we are trending. All right. Let's see what else can I do in here. Let me just start adding other stuff. Support. Ooh, look at that. Maybe we can have an early support zone. All right. Well, then I'm gonna be looking to this area. We already have it marked. All right. Let's see what else we have. Too big. Oh, we have another support area. Yeah, I'm not going to be waiting for this. I'm not going to be entering here, despite it already have a bounce from it. I'd rather wait for it to go lower, right? We are getting blue in here, and that's because we're losing our other oscillator line in here. Look at that. We have a flip. So until I don't see another diamond, I'm not going to be turning back bullish, all right? Half and half have happened to our... Absolutely, yeah, man. I'm doing quarters at this point because we are in ranges. Let's take a look at now that we are closing here at EOS. EOS, man. It's been a ride. Let's go to the 4 hours first, and I want to look at what's going on with EOS. So EOS, it has its megaphone. Look at that. It's breaking out, going for the retest on the megaphone. All right. Let's see if we can not... Oh, it's locked, of course. There it is. Let's lock it. We already have the bounce, but we are below our 0 line. This looks like a, oh shoot. This looks like a double top or in pattern. Where is the neckline? Right? This is gonna be maybe a possible lower high. All right, let's see if we have some supports or resistances. Yep. And maybe this could be a good support or a good resistance for a short. All right. Be careful right here. I'm gonna be adding it, and let me bring up my other indicators. All right. So what I'm gonna be looking for in here is gonna be this. All right. Perfect. I'm gonna be also adding. Well, we already have this one as an alert. All right. What's going to happen if it bursts through, retest, off we go? Well, then that's going to be a head switch. All right. My previous high, and let me just get rid of this so we can see it. It is right there. So give yourself a little bit of a wiggle room. All right. And we're going to be aiming all the way down here to dynamic reactor. We're at 1.52. We can do half of an entry here. All right. Half of an entry. There we go. So we're trying to get covered. In fact, remember our wiggle room. Let's aim for this for our wiggle room. We want for our stop loss to cover for this possible movement so we don't get stopped out. All right. And in that case, we can come back down here and head switch. How would that look like? You close almost at 0. You go for a long and then you head switch it all the way here, and your stop loss will be below your low and then your wiggle room. All right. So that's going to be it. So whatever it happens or how fast it happens, this is going to be the setup. Especially right now, we're aiming for a short because we are below the 0 line right here. And it looks like we could be having a pivot out of this resistance zone. All right. Let's see who else it has a recommendation, guys. Am I missing somebody? Remember, tag me at Piper Academy so I can see your recommendation, so I can see your assets. Atlas Prime, what's up, buddy? Let me know. Are you looking at something? Harp, are you looking at something? J Violet, are you looking at something? Caliphant, are you looking at something? Alexander G, are you looking at something? JR, let me know. All right, let's go for another one in here. In the meantime, let's bring up our crypto bubbles. And I want to look at, for example, INA. Can I trade it? Yes, I can trade it. Or maybe Hex. Not really, I cannot trade Hex. OP, I can trade OP. So let's take a look at INA and OP. At this point, I might be looking for shorting them, all right? All right, perfect. So let's get started with INA that is larger here. I'm looking at OC on my screen. Thank you, my friend. Really appreciate it. Here we go. Athena. I thought it was INA. Athena. All right, perfect. So let's go here. Let's paste it. Why not? It doesn't want to paste. All right, crypto. This is it. Let's go for Mexi. Here it is. All right, what a move. Loud order block right here. We're getting to a short position. Why? Because we have a resistance. Oh, not that one. Come on. At this point, man, I think, I don't know. I don't want to call this out just now. We are turning green, but we're almost back at reversal zones, all right? We need to be careful there. So for now, I'm going to be doing 1 quarter here. My stop loss is going to be right here. Set up for or do my wiggle room. And I'm going to be aiming for the loud order block all the way down there. Let's see if I have something else in here. A couple of resistances. So maybe I can aim a little bit higher here. Try to get it. You know what? This could be a possible entry here. We haven't broke any trend lines, but we're getting to resistance. So let's aim right there at that resistance. What else? Well, just before this resistance. Perfect. Let's see. We are also into a resistance. We're getting covered right here. Let's see. Loud order block. Do we have anything else? I want to see my FIBO. Raise, ribbon, order blocks, FIVP. Perfect. It seems like it wants to go up. Where to? Somewhere around here. All right, so what I'm gonna be doing, just doing 1 quarter. All right, what this is. What a 4, man. All right, let's make it better. Here it is. All right, now it looks like a 4. All right, so I'm gonna be going for 1 quarter, and I'm gonna start tasting the waters. If I get here and I don't bounce, well, or if I bounce, I'm gonna be looking for maybe a head switch. All right, but so far it's gonna be a possible short. The head switch is gonna be if I break my trend line like that, and then I bounce or I flip off the ribbon here. I'm gonna be going long out of here for previews for the top of that FIBO, and then aiming here almost a little bit higher than 1-to-1. Perfect. XRP. All right, let's take a look at the XRP. And I need to add my alerts, man. Let's see. Right here. Another one here. All right, let's do XRP. And I think that's going to be it for today. All right, XRP. Looking much better. Let's go to the 15 minutes. I think we can do something in the 15 minutes. All right, it seems like he wants to go higher for maybe double top. So let's try to catch that, all right? Let's see. Do we have some other support resistances? Ooh, I have one here, another one here. Right, so I have here and here. I think we're gonna get the double top. Look at that. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think we're gonna get that double top. Ooh, we're losing it. Maybe we can create another. If we go higher, maybe we can do a bearish divergence, right? And then off we go. But so far, where's our trend line? Right here. Let's make sure we don't lose it. I'm going to be adding an alert in here and another alert in here. If I lose my support for bearish, all right? Oh, come on, don't remove that. I think that's it. Perfect. Let's see where else. So let me just get rid of this. We already have it on video, right? And then let me just make it a little more professional. If we go low, this is gonna be our setup. If we go high, this is gonna be our setup for now. We need to revisit here. So what I'm gonna be doing is just keeping this like that, very short. All right. So there we go. That's what we got. We're losing the zero line. I think this is not gonna be a fake out like it was in here. All right, and we could be creating a bearish divergence. Hopefully we do, so we can get it all the way at the top. All right, so add your alert, guys, and be careful right now. I think tomorrow we're gonna be seeing what happened with our setups. Remember that we are incorporating head switches. All right, in case the first short goes the other way around, we're incorporating head switches. Why? Because at this point we are basically ranging. We're not defining an overall direction, and we need to exhaust our possibilities. All right. Remember that it is always important to have a plan A and a plan B in case it reverses on you. All right. So we don't see Profit. He's going to get the switch to a new Mario Kart game. That'll be amazing, bro. All right, guys, so I think this is gonna be over right now. This is the end of the session. We already have a couple of trade setups for today. Take it easy. Don't take them all. Take the ones that make the most sense to you. All right. Also, remember, do not go ham on your leverage. Keep a reasonable leverage. Set your stop loss. All right. Give yourself that wiggle room, and let's see how that play out. How that they play out tomorrow. All right. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for joining, and as always, see you guys tomorrow.